I'm Tony Knight here for TK24 Sports. Now on today's show, we're looking at Arsenal's potential transfers because there's been a lack of, apart from David Raya. So, what names are we talking about? Calafiori, of course, and Moreno. Now, the other one that broke last night was Victor Gyökeres. Arsenal could be plotting to make a move for this striker. So these three signings, could they make a difference for Arsenal Football Club? For Mikel Arteta, for Edu, can it transform them? And what about the outgoings? The likes of a Smith Rowe to Fulham could be between 25 to 40 million pounds. Eddie Nketiah could be on his way out. What about the likes of a Kieran Tierney and Aaron Ramsdale? Could they be going as well? The likes of a Fabio Vieira, I almost said Patrick Vieira. Fabio Vieira, he's not going anywhere. Thomas Partey, I think this is going to be his last season here with the Gunners, as well as Zinchenko. He could be his last season with the Gunners. So all that and more is going to be coming up on today's show. Sit back, relax, and get ready. So let's start it off with Mikel Moreno. Moreno. Definitely not Mourinho. This is the number that Arsenal are looking at. £12 million. A stupid bid's gone in as that. It hasn't been reported, but 12 million was the first bid. Swiftly just, testing the waters. While it was, of course, not back, but not rejected, it starts a dialogue. But Arsenal are looking at this midfielder playing on the left-hand side to complement a Declan Rice. Now, no one knows if it's going to be directly on the left-hand side or is it going to be just taking the number 6 role. And then Declan Rice takes the number 8. You're still looking at me and puzzled about this £12 million offer that you haven't seen on X. Not everything gets reported on X straight away. There's good sources I have. So, back to this. What's so good about him? Right now, when you look at this graph, this is going to tell you everything you need to know. So, when you played for Royal Sociedad last season, predominantly you can see he's more forward-thinking of a player. He gets forward very well. He occupies the space. But one thing I like as well that he can go back. One of his attributes that really stands out is that he's good on high pressing and his positioning. At 28 years old, they're standing on 1.88 centimeters, which is about, 6'1", 6'2". He is a colossus of a man. He's great in the air. He's great at controlling the game as well. Passing forward, he can get back, but he does like the left-hand side. Mainly that's because of the way the team makes him play. Do I think this is a sort of player that Arsenal need? Yes. Is it a household name? No. Did he help Spain win the European Championships just now? Yes, because he scored a goal. Not a lot of people remember that. The header. Beautiful header, may I add. But one of the things, this is where he's going to help Arsenal defensively in the air and offensively in the air. So he's great at that. Controlling, passing, where he's not going to be that guy that you just look for and say, this is what Arsenal need. He's a ball carrier. He dominates games. Arsenal are not looking for that. Mikel Arteta is not looking for that sort of player, that big name that's going to come in and show you flashes, but nothing else. And this is where Arsenal fans need to chill out a little bit. I will say not all Arsenal fans, just some. And I'll get onto that part much later on in the show. The next player I want to talk about is going to be Calafiori. Why about this player? What's so good about him? Again, check this out. So on the left-hand side, we know he's a centre-back. He can play as a left-back. But did you know he can play as a wing-back at the same time as well? Predominantly loves the left-hand side. And you can see, if you look at the heat map, he concentrates that very well. On the defensive side, he covers on the outside as well as the inside, so you know he can invert as well. Going forward, he does get forward, but he only crosses the halfway line just a little bit. He very rarely gets forward that much to make a difference. And when I say make a difference, I'm talking about penetrating in goals. Defensively, he's there. He's a ground duel master. He's only 22 years old. Again, standing up 6'1", 6'2". But his preferred foot is left, which is going to help the likes of Moreno, should he sign for Arsenal. It's going to help the likes of a Trossard and also a Martinelli. And what's so good that he can go forward, he can invert, but he can also go on the outside as well. And that is what Arsenal need. They didn't have that last season. So when you think of missing pieces in it for the missing pieces for the puzzle, These two players are ones that can definitely help. It can help Arsenal on the offense and it can help Arsenal on the defense as well. You're thinking, do we need help on the offense if you scored over 100 goals, 91, 92 in the Premier League? Yes, you do, because more goals equals more wins. And that's what Arsenal were missing last season. More wins. It wasn't the goals, it wasn't a striker that lost them the league, it was taking chances when they come and present. These two players do that. So on the left-hand side, you're now going to open up more space for Martinelli. You're going to open up more space for a Trossard with the likes of a Calafiori and a Moreno. They are going to help. They're also going to help in the midfield when it comes to aerial duels and ground duels as well. So these two players, respectively, are going to be great signings. California one is just taking a bit of time. A lot of stories are coming out with the likes of they agreed a deal, but the holdup is Bologna are just trying to get Basel to reduce that 50% sell-on clause that's there. Now, Basel are not going to do that. Bologna were the stupid ones who negotiated 50%, and they thought, well, we're not really going to say that at this moment in time, so 50% sounds cool, why not? Now the offers come in, now Bologna is like, damn, I'm only going to get 25 million. Really and truly, that is what he's worth, Calafiori. 25 to 30 million euros, that and truly what he's worth is. The problem is, the reason why they're asking for 50 million is so they can get back his true value and not give half of it away. That's why the price is quite steep. Arsenal know that, but Arsenal know how talented he is. Bologna then want a sell-on clause from Arsenal should he then move on. And Arsenal's like, nah, we're not making your mistake. That's your fault. You deal with it. We're going to give you over and above market value, and that's it. So this deal is going to get done. Bologna know it. They want the money. It's good money at the end of the day, but they just want more of the money. The one with Moreno, when it goes to Real Sociedad, like I said, the 12 million euro offer was just a little to open dialogue. That was it. The deal will get done. He's got 1 year left on his contract. They can pick him up for about 20 to 30 million euros. It's going to get done. It's just going to take a bit of time. And the reason why these deals are going to get done, because Arsenal now know Smith Rowe is going to go. They now know that Eddie Nketiah is going to go. They now know that Aaron Ramsdale is going to go. Just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean that talks are not going on with other clubs. We just hear about it when they want to leak this information. The next one I want to talk about is Victor Gyökeres. That's right, the big phenom who's busting it up over there in the Portuguese league, playing for Sporting. Let's look at his stats to what he done the last season. It was incredible. So, if you look at Victor Gyökeres as a whole, we are looking at a man who played for Reading at the time, and he done phenomenally well there. Of course, he's the next Brighton player. But when you look at his figures, the Swede, he's 26 years old, stands at 1.87, he's still over 6 foot. And one of his strengths are, well, three of his strengths, when you look at it, is high pressing, consistency, finishing. His weakness, they're saying, is ball control. Could that be a problem? Even though Sporting are saying they want a big figure of close to 100 million euros, apparently that's been reduced now to about 60 million euros. But the reports are coming out that Arsenal are ready to activate it with an 83 million euro price. So that's going to be about 74 million pounds. Could it be a good deal, or should Arsenal wait till next year and go for like of Alexander Isak? A lot of you saying Isak's the man, Isak's the man, Isak's the man. Is he really? So let's get back into these stats and let's check this out. So last season with Victor Gyökeres, we're getting 33 games played, 32 started, and he scored 29 goals. Again, when you look at the heat map, he's concentrated heavily up front, of course, because he's a striker. Left, right, centre. That's what I like to see. Outside the box, left, right, and centre. That again is what I like to see. But then when you look at Alexander Isak, he 30 games played, 27 started, again, just Premier League, 21 goals. 24 years old. Again, funny enough, they're both Swedish. I like that. Could be a competition there. Standing at 1.93 centimeters was about 6 foot 3, 6 foot 4, close to it. Again, when you try and get these heights there, are they official? We never know. but we just have to guesstimate that's what it's going to be. What I like about Isaac is he is a solid player in the Premier League. That's what we've seen. When you think of Victor Gyökeres and why a lot of supporters, shall I say, I was not too sure because you don't get to see him play. You don't watch the Portuguese league, you watch the Premier League. But the Premier League, one thing that stood out for me about a red flag for Alexander Isaac is that his injury record is not the best. Victor Gyökeres is not too bad. It's not too bad. But which one would I take? From what you see, you think of an Alexander Isaac, not a Victor Gyökeres, because you don't really watch him play. But that's good. But when you know that someone's just banging in goals left, right, and centre, so is Isaac, but not to the level of a Victor Gyökeres. And that's what stands out to me. So they're going to cost thereabouts the same, or an Alexander Isaac's going to cost you more. I would rather go for a Victor Gyökeres. But then again, if Eddie Howe leaves Newcastle to be the England manager, is Victor, oh my God, I can't get names out. Alexander Isaac, is he going to stay? Is a Bruno Guimaraes going to stay at Newcastle as well? So there's a lot to wait for. There's a lot to see with these sorts of transfers. Is it going to be a Gyökeres or Alexander Isaac? Will Bruno Guimaraes stay? Are we going to wait for the announcement of the England manager? Is that going to get done after the transfer window happens? So then if you don't go for Gyökeres and you're waiting for an Isaac, and then all of a sudden Eddie Howe leaves and then Arsenal's missed out on a striker, missed out on the number 6 that they could have got, it could be all doom and gloom. Then again, Arsenal could be smart, wait to see what Eddie Howe's going to do, but still go in for a Bruno Guimaraes this season. And then if they don't go for the striker, but Alexander's still there and Eddie Howe leaves, you then go for an Isaac next season rather than going for a Sesko. So much to go, so much to think about. But you've got to be patient. You've got to understand why Arsenal take their time and not just rush into deals. Because when you rush into deals, you then got to think of the long term, such as when we want to sell this player, is there going to be a sell-on clause? When we sell this player, is the wages too high for the next club that you want to sell him on to? If we sell this player, is there a ceiling where this player can go to where we can make some money back? There's so much, but some Arsenal fans are just moaning, are just impatient because no real significant signings have been made. And when they do want to make a signing, we're not all going to agree with the signing. We're not all going to be happy with it, are we? No, we're not. But while you're still watching the show, 12 minutes into it, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn that notification on if you've got this far. Again, the goal for myself is to get to at least 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season, which is up and coming, at least by 5,000 subscribers by transfer window. So, can you make it happen? If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. If you're new to the show, hit that subscribe, hit that like, and share it to your friends, and maybe turn on your notification, because if you don't, you'll just miss out on shows like this. Anyway, I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports. Thank you for watching. You guys have been great. And thank you for the loyal supporters who keep coming back time and time again to make us succeed. Ty Knight, TK24 Sports.